This is the story of my mum, Jenny Yen G, and her migration to Australia from Vietnam. My mum was born in 1956 in Saigon, Vietnam, which was during the Vietnam War that occurred between 1955 and 1975. During this war, she would remember hearing gunshots and bombs, some far and some close by, and her family, which included her parents, 4 sisters and 4 brothers, were constantly living in fear. Being the eldest daughter in the family, she had the responsibility to look after her 6 younger siblings, while her 2 older brothers worked with my grandfather in their family business. She would have to go to school and come home every day to go to the markets to buy food, cook, clean, and take care of the family, all as a young teenager. In December 1978, my mum, at the age of 22, and her family left Vietnam. They first travelled in small boats that fit around 300 people to travel to an island out in open sea to board a big ship. This ship here is the one that my mum was on, and it's called the Skyline, and it fit over 3,000 people. My family were really lucky to all be together and survive, because 200,000 to 400,000 boat people died out in sea. They finally arrived in Kowloon, Hong Kong, but the Hong Kong government did not let them into the country. Because of this, they had to live on the boat, waiting in very poor conditions. They had no toilets, they had to shower using seawater, and they were only given food every 2 days that they had to ration and make sure that they left enough for the next day. Finally, after 6 months on the ship, the Hong Kong government finally let them in, and they were transported to a refugee camp. This is a photo of my mom, her 2 sisters and her brother that I found on the internet with the caption, "Vietnamese boat people wait for food in a Hong Kong refugee camp." While living at the refugee camp, people in government from other countries came to Hong Kong to take refugees into their country, but my family waited and waited in hopes of being taken into Australia. Finally, after 6 long months, their waiting came to an end. My mum and her family arrived in Australia on the 18th of December 1979, a date that my mum and her family remember so vividly as it was one of the happiest moments of their lives. Although they were extremely happy to come to Australia, my mum and her family didn't have much and spent most of their time working 60 to 70-hour weeks just to make a living for themselves. While working at the restaurant, my mum met my dad, who was a chef, and they got married in 1989. A year later, on the 19th of March 1990, my brother was born. 4 years later, on the 23rd of September 1994, my mum had me. You can see how excited she is in this photo to have me. But I don't think my brother felt quite the same way as my mum did. My parents have worked endlessly to make sure that my brother and I have the best life possible, and I'm honestly so grateful for everything that they've done for me. As a 23-year-old now, I can't imagine going through all the things that her and her family went through to get to where they are today. I'm so blessed to have such an amazing family that's been through the toughest hardships, and just seeing it grow and grow and grow from 11 people to now 37 people on my mum's side. Thank you for everything, Mum. I love you.